38 Special Plus P Federal Punch versus 9mm Federal Punch. And this is going to be the ultimate test. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through some clear ballistics gelatin, and we're going to do all the, the basic barrel lengths. Not all of them, but your most common. So we're talking 2-inch versus 4-inch for the 38 Special, and then 3.2-inch versus 5-inch for the 9mm. So these are going to be really comparable to compare them to, and what I mean by that is, this G2C and this Taurus 605 here have about the same amount of barrel travel from the bullet nose to the muzzle, and we got a similar thing going on here with the 38 Special and the 9mm. I actually made this little thing here. This is our difference between the 605 and the G2C from bullet nose to muzzle with typical ammunition. And here it is with the 686 versus the M&P 5. A little bit more barrel travel with the Smith & Wesson 686. Interesting here. And one thing to keep in mind is typically revolvers lose about 5% of their potential velocity out of their cylinder gap. So I would say overall this is about as fair as we're going to get for this type of testing. So we're going to go through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get at the same time, and then we're going to go through our ballistics gelatin and see what we get. And then I'm going to shoot a little bit of a distance at 25 yards and to see how these rounds will shoot for me. So let's get started with this test. All right, first up we have the 9mm. It's rated at 1150 feet per second. I believe that's out of a 4-inch barrel, so we should get more than that out of this 5-inch barrel. I'm about 4 yards from the chronograph, 5 yards from the target. Let's see what we get with the Federal Punch through the 5-inch barrel. 1304, wow. 1284. 1292, 1272, 1282. So that's a lot more than rated velocity. That's really interesting. Let's try the 3.2-inch barrel and see how that compares. All right, 3.2-inch barrel. Maybe this will get closer to 1150 feet per second. We'll see. 1178, 1182. 1138, 1158, 1142. So that's a lot closer to our rated velocity. So my guess is, because it's punch and it's not a plus P, it's probably similar to something like a critical defense, where it's kind of designed around a concealed carry size gun. Let's see how the 38 Special Plus P version compares. All right, 38 Special Plus P. This is rated at an even 1,000 feet per second. So let's see what we get with this. And by the way, this is a 120 grain, and the 9mm is 124 grain. 1088, 1081, 1085, 1068, 1060. So again, above rated velocity, and that's a very consistent round for a revolver. Getting that tight of a velocity spread is often hard for a lot of these ammunition companies, but this is a very impressive round. Let's see how the 2-inch barrel compares. All right, 2-inch barrel. Our velocity of this should be about the same as a 1.875-inch barrel. I've done some studies in the past, and it's relatively the same with different ammunition, but we'll see how close we get to 1,000 out of a 2-inch barrel. 942, 908, 914, 968, 922. So not too bad, but we definitely had some velocity spreads there. But something like a critical defense 110 plus P gets right around 900 feet per second even. So 120 grain doing a little faster than that. That's not too bad. All right, now let's hit our Juggernaut box, which does contain our 10% clear ballistics gelatin, and we'll see how these rounds compare to each other. All right, first up we have our 9mm and our 5-inch barrel. I want to get all 4 of these rounds in the same block, so I'm going to try to aim in such a way to do this. So 5-inch barrel, 9mm. Let's see what we get. All right, I'm gonna take a look up there at that. So I put the rule up there to get a good look at this right away, and what we're seeing is about 16.5 inches is where the leading edge of that bullet stops, and our damage goes a little bit further to about 16.75 inch. So let's see how the shorter barrel compares to the longer barrel. And by the way, I do have 4 layers of denim in front of this ballistics gel block, so I'm going to try to put the 3.2 inch a few inches over to the side here and see what this looks like. Alright, so it came out the side of the box. It kind of curved off a little bit, and we can definitely see what the penetration is just by looking right here. It's going to be 16 inches. But without putting the ruler up there, I can see that our damage path is about 17 inches, so just a little bit more with the 3.2 inch barrel. So let's see how the revolver rounds and 38 special compare. All right, our 4 inch barrel. We can go through the 4 layers of denim here and try to make a good shot and see what we get with 38 special. All right. I can see that bullet already. All right, from what I can tell, we're talking about 12.75 inches. But we'll take that block down and get a little bit of a closer look in a minute here. Let's see how the short barrel compares. All right, our 2 inch barrel. Let's see what this looks like in our ballistics gelatin. All right, I can see that bullet. All right, so I'm going to pull this pack down. We're going to take a look, and the bullet from the short barrel 9mm is falling out here. But we'll take a real close-up look here at what we got. So looking up here, our 38 special from the shorter barrel is at about 14 inches, as we're 12.75 with our longer barrel. So these are definitely not over penetration, and they're within the FBI standards. Here's our 9mm from the short barrel. Perfect expansion, looks just like an HST. But our 9mm from the 5 inch barrel actually went a little bit further, which is really interesting because our longer barrel actually went shorter with the 38 special, but our shorter barrel went longer, and it's the opposite with the 9mm. So I'm going to dig these bullets out and we'll take a look at them. So here's our 9mm from the 3.2 inch barrel. So I'm going to take this and measure it, and you should see those measurements right now. Try to get a look here at the 9mm with the 5 inch barrel. We just saw the one with the 3.2 inch. Here it is, and we have a plug of denim in it and a little bit less expansion. That's why it went a little bit deeper, but overall pretty decent. All right, it gets a little more complicated here with our 38 specials. You get a good view right here. So our shorter barrel went a little bit further than our longer barrel. See if I can pull that out. So here it is from the 2 inch barrel, and we actually got an okay expansion. And it's weird because these bullets look totally different when they're loaded originally. They look like 2 completely different bullets, but when they're actually expanded, they look the same between the 9mm and 38. So here is our 2 inch barrel. Let's see how the 4 inch barrel looks. A little struggle to get it out, but our 4 inch barrel looks pretty similar to the 9mm. Where we have a plug of denim in there, and pretty good expansion overall. Now let's shoot these at 25 yards at my 10 inch steel gong and just see how they shoot, see if there's any quote-unquote punch behind them. The chronograph and ballistics gel seem to say that there is. Let's see what the steel gong says. All right, again, our 10 inch steel gong from 25 yards. I'll do 4 rounds in each particular handgun. See what kind of punch and accuracy I can do at that plate at that distance. I missed it. Alright, so these rounds are shooting really low out of this gun for me because I had to aim about 6 inches above that plate. Let's see how the shorter barrel compares. Alright, 3.2 inch barrel. Let's see what I can do with this. Same thing, I'm gonna aim a little high. I was not able to hit that. That's interesting because that type of shot is pretty easy typically with these pistols. Let's try the revolver rounds. All right, 38 special punch. See what this does. Alright, that round is really accurate out of this particular revolver. Let's try the snub nose. Alright, 2-inch barrel. We'll see what I can do with this. Alright, so that's what you get today. And no, I'm not throwing those shots with the 9mm just to prove a point or anything like that. This is what we're actually getting for our point of impact. They were very, very low out of both 9mm pistols for some reason. I don't really understand exactly why, because other ammo at that distance is fine, but for some reason it's shooting low, and I think it's probably because the velocity was so high. It's higher than typical, so maybe that's why. But I'm gonna say our performance out of the 4-inch revolver, if I have to take all these rounds and compare them all, our ballistic performance with both the 9mm were really good. I'm gonna say that well, it both performed quite well actually. You know, the shorter barrel was pretty much perfect for expansion, and our accuracy is going to be kind of hard to tell. With our revolver rounds though, there's a clear winner that in a 4-inch barrel, that 38 did excellent. It did better than most other 38 specials I've ever seen perform as. So really, really good with that round. So that's what you get today, our ultimate test between Federal Punch 9mm and 38 special. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.